with Hogan visiting a WWE building for the first time in months last Tuesday in Atlanta, followed by Vince McMahon on the same day publicly confirming the returns of Rock and Austin for next year, with major headlines coming almost by the day in the past week. Saturday, December 14th saw Rock in a radio interview in the Dallas area dropping another potential game-changing bomb, saying that while he can't elaborate further as an agreement is yet to be reached with the company, he's currently working on a deal involving Bill Goldberg for his return to the ring, all but confirming the plan for Rock vs. Goldberg in a first-time-ever dream match to headline WrestleMania 19 in March of next year, with Rock reportedly not only pushing for the Goldberg match with him targeting it as one of the last goals of his career, but actively arranging the negotiations between Goldberg and the company on the way to the first McMahon-Goldberg meeting already planned several times during the past year, with Goldberg also reportedly visiting Rock on the Rundown movie set, hoping to reach a deal in the next several weeks to kick off the build either in January or February for potentially one of the biggest money matches in history. And as the news started to break during the day, either in a coincidence or a deliberate timing, hours later on, Confidential built around Rock's first appearance on WWE television since SummerSlam. Rock, in an interview on the set of the Rundown movie, further hinted at what's to come, saying that he's got some things in his head that they will find out when he comes back, talking either on the planned new Hollywood heel character or the Goldberg WrestleMania headliner with the Saturday night show as a result, which also featured a cover story on Ric Flair's plane crash in the mid-70s, jumping to the most watched Confidential in over 3 months, with Raw in contrast to it on the night not only not getting the usual post-pay-per-view bump coming off Armageddon, but the first quarter featuring the Test and Trish vs. Richards and Victoria tag match opening at 3.6 million viewers, the lowest opening Raw viewership in nearly 5 years, with the show starting to pick up strong in the third quarter, with Shawn Michaels a day after dropping the world title in a 40-minute Three Falls main event at Armageddon to end his experimental comeback title run, starting his new program on the night with him after attempting to correct his self-inflicted perception in recent months, saying that last night he proved that the showstopper is back to cement himself back full-time going forward. Confronted by Chris Jericho in the first Michaels-Jericho face-to-face segment, with Jericho playing off the legit situation of him modeling aspects of his career after Michaels, telling Shawn he was initially excited to see him back as he was one of his inspirations to get in the business, but he's now finished at the top level, while nicknaming him the has-been kid, setting up the closing super kick to kick off a long-term Jericho vs. Michaels feud, with Michaels after underwhelming numbers since his return in the Triple H feud, kicking off the new program with perhaps his strongest number since his return, with the new dynamic of the Jericho-Michaels segment doing the biggest first-hour viewership gain in months to draw Raw's most watched full quarter of the night already by 9:30 p.m. with over 4.4 million viewers. With Scott Steiner turning down SmackDown to officially join Raw last Thursday, followed by Triple H winning back the title last night on the pay-per-view, Raw set up a show-long angle building to a double headline segment, with both Steiner and Hunter being unknowingly promised the same main event slot by Bischoff and Morley, hyping an appreciation night for Hunter and a contract signing ceremony for Steiner, with attempts by Eric to get it sorted on the way to the segment set to close the show at 11 p.m. with Raw an hour earlier while approaching 10 p.m. seeing the first hour overall drawing a 3.3 rating with 3.9 million viewers, despite the higher rating due to lower viewers per home on the night, making it the least watched hour of Raw in nearly 5 years, even below both hours on November 11th. with even that figure driven entirely by the unusually big viewership gain for the Michaels-Jericho segment midway through, with the fourth quarter of the hour minutes later uncharacteristically dropping sharply to 4.1 million viewers, with the show crossing over the top of the hour with Kane and Van Dam after a backstage promo hyping the match, teaming up for the first time against 3 Minute Warning and Batista in a tag match going 5 minutes. continuing the unusual viewing pattern on the night, with the usually second highest profile segment of the show only picking up less than 50,000 viewers, as with both after months of being involved in Raw title matches not set to be near the main event area for the foreseeable future, with the Steiner signing to the brand and influx of major star power at the start of next year. Opening the new partnership with a win in the handicap match, followed immediately by Steiner entering the building to continue the build to the conflicted segments angle set for the main event. With the Raw 10th anniversary special now less than a month away and 4 days after Vince McMahon publicly confirmed Steve Austin's return to the company in the near future, Raw on the night, besides another flashback moment featuring him with the January 4, 1999 Mankind title win over Rock, shown as one of the all-time Raw highlights in the voting for the greatest moment in show history. Austin was notably referenced twice during the show, with the most talked about one being another Triple H shot with him in the backstage segment with Bischoff when hearing about the Steiner contract signing being placed over his segment in the main event, threatening to pull an Austin and walk out of the company with the belt in another one in a series of shots taken at Austin since the incident in June. With Raw after no viewership movement for the first 45 minutes of the second hour, staying at the 3.4 rating with 4.1 million viewers range, seeing the first WWE television meeting of Steiner and Flair, with Flair attempting to get Steiner to give away the final segment slot to Hunter, with Steiner responding that he's now the main event and Hunter better get used to it, building up to the top matching segment of the night, going back-to-back to close the show, which drove the second hour to an increase of over 300,000 viewers, but with the broadcast after starting lower than usual and having one of the lowest viewers per home figures of the year, totaling 4.14 million viewers, to only top November 11th as the second least watched Raw since early '98. With the final match of the night following up the tag titles change at Armageddon, with Booker and Goldust winning the tag titles for the first time, seeing Booker vs Jericho going 6 minutes in the final quarter to start the rebound, with a 300,000 viewers gain to set up a tag titles rematch with Jericho and Christian vs Booker and Goldust booked for next Monday. After nearly 2 hours of a unique build-up by advertising two major segments for the same time slot in the main event, Triple H walked to the ring 5 minutes from the top of the hour for his promoted Appreciation Night segment, with Steiner pretending to agree to delay his contract signing for next Monday, starting it with Eric airing a Hunter highlight video package going through his main event run in the past 2 years, followed by Hunter putting himself over, saying that he beat every top name in the industry by listing Hogan, Angle, Michaels, Taker, Kane and Austin, and Hunter's second mention of him on the night followed by Rock as the last name on the list, with Hunter taking a shot saying that he beat Hollywood, which is why he's off making movies in the latest continuation of the Rock-Hunter heat on and off screen, with Raw in a strategic placement 5 minutes into the Hunter promo hitting the Steiner siren to bump up the building just when crossing into the overrun seconds from 11 p.m., setting up the next top program on Raw, with Steiner and Hunter going face-to-face for the first time to start Steiner's full-time run on the brand, and with his previous advertised segment on the show the day after Survivor Series drawing Raw's most watched segment in 3 months. Steiner's second promoted segment on the night saw Raw spiking big in a viewership gain rarely seen in the current TV season of the brand, with the Steiner-Hunter confrontation jumping over 1 million viewers to peak at a 4.4 rating with over 5.3 million viewers, making it the most watched segment on Raw since the Steiner debut promo on November 18 and the highest rated segment overall since the TLC match over 2 months earlier. And after a strong promo exchange with Hunter and Steiner taking back and forth shots setting up the first Steiner vs Hunter match for the world title for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, announcing the Raw main event over a month in advance set to be Steiner's first televised match back in the company in the lead-up to tickets going on sale for the event this Saturday in Boston, ending the segment with Steiner signing the contract and Hunter backing down to close the show 10 minutes into the overrun with Raw after months of looking for something to click in the main event. After the strong build-up segment and 3-month high rating potentially setting up the first big money feud on the brand since the Rock-Lesnar build-up to SummerSlam 4 months earlier,